everybody to the We Got You Mama show. I am so excited today because I get to introduce you to Briana, who is the VP of Digital Innovation at eWomenNetwork. I've been a part of this networking group only for about a year now, but I got to head out to Texas and meet her and dance with her on the dance floor. I should maybe like right here, I'll throw in like an image of her looking all glamorous beside me. And I'm like sweating. We like to dance hard. So eWomenNetwork is the number one business community for women entrepreneurs. You guys, they're on a mission to help 1 million women make $1 million. She's a former celebrity makeup artist turned branding and digital marketing expert. Briana has spent over a decade helping women-owned businesses elevate their visibility and scale their impact online. So her story is one of resilience and also reinvention. She survived, and we're going to chat about this more, a near-death experience that completely transformed her outlook on life. Briana became passionate about helping women blend strategy with soul, building brands that are not just profitable, right, but deeply purposeful. She's also a mom of 2 and a dog mom. I have to throw that in there because we're dog fans. We're dog fans over here.
Yes.
A visionary and a sought-after speaker known for her honest, empowering approach to business, branding, and motherhood. So, did I miss anything at all? I always give my guests a chance to be like, oh, and there's this one thing I want to.
No, I think that you pretty much nailed it. I think the only thing is that I'm an open book. That's not in there. So let's get into it.
Right. Awesome. So your journey includes near-death moments. I don't think a lot of people can say that. I would love to launch into that. I know, right? I would love to launch into that and maybe some of these career pivots and the rebuilding that happens when that happens. So what happened? Share with our audience what happened. And it wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was April 11th, 2024. So, here we are in recording this now in 2025. And so not terribly long ago, 10 out of 10 do not recommend, half star, poor review, near-death experience is no fun. But yeah, I just honestly, Carly, I just went to a med spa. I just wanted to have a me day. Life was like really good. I had just landed a higher position within the company that I've been climbing the ladder of to take over. And my husband, who had been laid off for a few months, just got offered a new job that was better than his previous job. We were getting ready to go to Bali. Like life was like really awesome. And I was like, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go have a little me day at this med spa. And that little treat turned into almost a life-costing accident. And I, overdosed with lidocaine. And my diagnosis was formerly lidocaine toxicity. And in the medical field, that's not very many people come out of that. And I was given a 1% chance of actually surviving, let alone recovering. And so when I came to, I couldn't walk. I couldn't really speak. I sounded like a very drunk person. I wasn't making sense. My words were not very clear. I couldn't feed myself. I had no mobility. I was actually completely paralyzed when I woke up. So, it was a very dark, terrifying time for me and my family. And
I remember your mom sharing that story, and I don't know if there was a dry eye in the room, especially the mothers in the room, right? Being like, your dad was like, we gotta prepare for saying goodbye to our daughter. And your mom's like, no, 100% no. Right. And so she launched into like, no, I'm going to save my kid. Right. There's 1% chance. And no, it was the other way around. Your dad was like, she's going to be fine. She has 1%. And your mom was like, what, you right? Like that shock. Can't even imagine.
I think that's the powerful thing about family is I think it flip-flops. There's sometimes when someone has lost their hope, but in that moment, someone else has to take over and be the strength in that moment. And then when that person loses their strength, the other person has to compensate for it. As long as not everybody gives up at the same time, you're 100%. Okay. It's going to be okay. Not everyone can give up at once. And so, and including me, and that goes for not only health scares, but life and marriage and every relationship in general. Like as long as
Yeah.
somebody has some fight left to
Yeah.
compensate for the other, then you're going to be able to pull through. But
Yeah.
when you both give up, that's when you're in trouble. That's what I believe.
So you are having to relearn all the things,
Yeah.
right?
Learning
So
all
like
the
you're that
things.
far gone that like now I have to learn to walk and eat. And I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
people are looking at this being like, wait a second, that was like a year. You know what I mean? Like,
No, there's no medical explanation for it, Carly. That is where, if you don't believe in God, my story, my story can turn a non-believer into a believer, because even the doctor said there's no medical explanation for the pace or the rate of my recovery. And don't get me wrong, there are still, um, I still have a few deficits and things that probably will never be the same. But I I am a 1% miracle. The doctors said it themselves. And so I'm super grateful to God, all of the prayers, our community, everybody that prayed for me, because I do believe that the power of prayer is powerful, and
100%.
it's why I'm here. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Dang. Dang, girl. So
Yeah.
you had to pivot, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
she pivoted also, and then she got pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an accident.
Honey, I'm home. Oh.
Yeah. We missed each other a little bit. I was in outpatient. So I went from the hospital to inpatient rehab, and then I got discharged from inpatient, and then had a week before I started outpatient, where I was going back and forth with the driver. And so, yeah, so it was pretty much right after I got home from inpatient therapy. I guess I don't know. Yeah. We all know how babies are made. I hope.
No, we
But
kind of know at this point.
yeah, things happened, and yeah, I got pregnant. And so my son, this is crazy. This is like the whole, maybe it's woo woo. I believe it's godly, but my
Sure.
son was literally born 11 months to the day on March 11th, 11 months after my incident at 11:11 p.m.
Oh, stop it. I just got
I,
goosebumps.
yes, yeah, 11, 11, 11. It was like, wow, okay, you're a little miracle boy. You're gonna do big things. Like that
Yeah.
is crazy. So
God's like,
yeah,
I'm not waiting anymore.
no,
This boy is not waiting anymore.
no,
He's ready. Whether you're
that's
ready
right.
or not, he's ready.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is wild. So you
Yeah.
pivoted a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about that pivot in your career, what that sort of rebuilding, not only your health and your life and while pregnant, like what did that look like for you?
I mean, when everything happened, um, it really forced me to take a step back. I had actually had a fall at the
Mhm.
hospital. And when that happens, you get put on like a fall risk. And so now there's a person that like lives next to you in your bed. You're not allowed to get up without anybody. And it was so bad that I had like ringers on my bed. And when I moved from the hospital to inpatient therapy, I was like, oh, I'm free. And they're not gonna have that anymore. No, that follows you.
Yeah.
That record follows you. So even when I got to the point where like I could stand up, I could walk myself to the bathroom, I could go to the bathroom in privacy, I was not allowed to because of those protocols. So I was literally stuck in not only a hotel room, a therapy room, but I was stuck in a bed. Like I wasn't even mobile. And so like on the weekends when I had no therapy, I was not doing anything. I was just literally, imagine being an active, busy, high performing woman and then being told you are not allowed to leave your bed unless you have a reason to do it and someone is helping you do it.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of miserable, but what it did is it forced me to have a lot of time to think
Hmm.
and a lot of time to reflect. And I'm still in reflection, Carly. There are still things that I am working through even now, and just kind of traumas that are starting to bubble up even now,
Yeah.
because it is still relatively new.
It
But
is.
during that time of being stuck in that bed, not able to do anything else, it would have been really easy to get really depressed and really down on myself. And why me? Why is this happening to me? But I think the most important thing that I did was, instead of going there, instead of having those moments of why me and being sad and crying and and being, a victim, was to really reflect on what was the reason, what am I supposed to learn from this?
Yeah.
And I've learned so much from it. But at the time, the very first thing on the surface level, because it's deep, there's layers to it, but on the surface level, the first epiphany I had was, when am I ever going to be okay with my body? Because the reason I'm here, at its core, yes, medical mistake, what malpractice, whatever, but it happened because I was trying to fix something on my
Sure.
body. And when I really sat with myself, I really can't think of a time that I was ever happy with my body. And even if the procedure had gone as planned, I probably still wouldn't be happy with my body.
Yeah.
And so at what point is enough going to ever be enough? And so I started to get really into this whole notion of this like toxic body positivity movement, because I don't think that that's realistic for somebody who struggles with body image to actually look in the mirror and see like those quote imperfections and love them about
Like, oh
yourself.
my gosh, look
Like,
at I
yes,
live life, but I love all this extra stuff going on.
yeah,
It's okay.
like I think that that's what I saw people preaching, and I was like, that I can't get behind that. But what I can get in touch with is the whole concept of body neutrality.
Mm,
When can I look at my body and just be neutral
right.
and not have negative thoughts, not necessarily have positive thoughts, but just like, oh, there's my body. There's a body and it's working and it can move and it can hold my children and it can
Mhm.
go for a walk and it can get me from point A to point B, and I am healthy. And when is that going to be enough? So I started to
Yeah.
really dig into what that could look like, what that could mean, so that not only would I never be in this situation again, but hopefully in preaching this whole concept, I could help other women not get into that situation again,
Yeah.
because we don't have to fix ourselves. We can just be, and it
Mhm.
is enough. And especially if you are in a healthy relationship, I have an amazing husband, thankfully, who loves me regardless of my body before I had babies or after, you know, that is, I think, also really important if you are somebody who struggles with body image, to surround yourself with people who hype you up, who can reassure you. And, that community is everything, regardless of if it's a romantic relationship or not. Even my girlfriends are some of my best hype girls. Like, yes, girl, you look fire, and we need that.
Yeah.
Women, we need that sometimes, especially when you're
Mhm.
not really necessarily feeling it for yourself. And
Right.
so
And I
that
think I
was,
appreciate it more from my girlfriends than I think I do from my husband. Like, husbands, like, whatever. They might say that all the time, or they've been saying it for, X amount of years, but,
yeah,
when you have it on
the
the
words
outside a
come
little
back
bit, you're like,
on.
thank you. Oh, thank
Like,
you.
you have to say that.
I know. Yeah. Do you mean it? I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I think it does matter more for my girlfriends too.
Right? I know.
Uh,
There's something there is something about that because they also get it on a different level, right?
they do.
Um, so let's say one of these girlfriends is trying to pick something of theirs, right? I want to get these boobs lifted. I want to whatever. And it's that fine line of like, empowering them to do what they want to do to feel good, but
Yeah.
also you're coming at it from a different lens, being like, okay, but
Yeah. And
something like this killed me, right? And I have a friend of a friend who, they call these mommy makeovers, that they nip and they tuck and they lift and they do all the things, and she didn't make it out of that surgery room, and
oh,
left 4 kids. And so like these are stories that we just don't hear enough of. And it's like, how is it worth it? You know what I mean? Is it worth it for this time we have on earth to do all
yes.
these things to fit into this ideal? If it might actually take your life, that's always a possibility that
It's a
it might,
risk. It's
you
a
know?
risk. And we all think, oh, that won't happen to me, but and it does. And you're like, oh, crap. Like, I could have never imagined I wouldn't be leaving that. I mean, I literally have the doctor on the video saying, you'll be able to drive home. I'm doing a little bit of lidocaine, but not anything where you won't be able to drive home. You might have some heart palpitations, but you'll be fine. And then video cuts out. Next thing you know, I'm in the ICU fighting for my life. But
And this was for stretch marks.
yes,
Right.
actually, it was for loose skin. So I was just
Yeah.
tightening up stomach on my loose skin. There's a
Right.
non-invasive
Yeah.
outpatient procedure that you can do for that. It's
Mhm.
called Morpheus 8. And it was my second time doing it. This wasn't even like my first time
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
it was so not in my
You've
realm of
done it, you're
possibility.
educated in it. So
I
of
mean,
course,
like,
I mean, that's really good to know for women that keep coming back for more, right? That like things
yeah.
like this could still happen.
And here's the thing, I don't want women to be fearful. If there's something and you
Sure.
have the means to do it, by all means, go do what's going to make you feel happy, but do your damn research.
Right.
And don't go to the
100%.
person that's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. I got a certification in that. I can do that procedure." Like,
Yeah.
no. No, 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 no. Do not go to the jack of all trades or the person who can do it for you, or I'll cut you a deal. I can do it cheaper. They can probably do it cheaper because that's not their expertise. That's not
100%. Yeah.
all that they do. I mean, I ended up having to have a C-section with my son. And in order to have a C-section, you have to have a spinal. And in order to have a spinal, you have to have lidocaine. And after my near-death experience from lidocaine toxicity, I told myself, I'm never going to put lidocaine in my body again, ever again. Well, fast forward 11 months later, that's not going to be possible, ma'am. We have to do this. And I was terrified,
I
but
bet. How
I
could
was
you not be?
I was reminded though that this is all they do all day, every
Look.
day. They're not doing this plus
Mhm.
Botox plus this treatment plus like that's
Yeah.
all they do. So if you're going to go and get something done, make sure that you are paying that premium price and you are going to the best person in the world who only does that one thing.
Right.
Because chances are if that is all they do all day, every day, that they are extremely well versed of it, and your chances are going to be a lot lower of something going wrong
Mm.
because you hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Mexico where I can get it done cheaper." Oh, I'm going to go here where I can, but it's so dangerous because you can literally lose your life and it's just not worth it. I would rather go, if I'm going to do it, go to the person that is the best of the best of the best. That's all they do all day, every day is that one thing that you're
Right.
getting done.
Right.
And that's it.
Just be smart, right?
Yes.
Be
Be
smart.
safe out there, kids.
Be safe out there, mama. Just
you
be
know?
safe out there. Be smart. Be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
not worth
don't buy
it.
the Groupon that is for that thing because maybe if they need Groupons to sustain their business, it might not be, might
I
not
don't
be
know.
the
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no straight up. I don't mean to. There might be somebody that's really talented that's on Groupon. Maybe you should get off of Groupon
Yeah.
after hearing this
No,
podcast because I will never go through a discounted anything.
no.
In my case, it wasn't a discount. It was more so like a family friend. They were a client slash
Mhm.
friend who I had a relationship with, so I just trusted them, and I just really was relaxed. Like, oh yeah, you do all this stuff, you can do this perfect.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
That's crazy.
yeah, you just
And
really
we're
have to.
finding it rampant, right? Especially across social media platforms. This pressure to erase the signs of childbirth, which is heartbreaking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, I I always advocate to work on your insides
Mm-hmm.
first,
Yeah.
right? Training moms in fitness and postpartum fitness and all that. Your pelvic floor, right? How much healing can you do, like literally from the inside? Like, yes, your heart and your mindset and those things too, but like physically on the inside, and how much that can often change things on the outside, right? There's a lot of awesome things and beautiful resources that, we all have access to and need to really learn more about to, heal ourselves from the inside, prep ourselves before babies from
Yeah.
the inside. You know what I mean? So that like, I don't know, maybe we won't need to sometimes you won't need to have a C-section. Sometimes, you can absolutely not tear. Like these are all things I've learned after I had 3 babies and it was, ripped in half and all the things, which is why, we're here sharing those things that are possible for
Yeah.
these moms who are postpartum, who are going into pregnancy or having their second kid, maybe how you want to do things differently. I get what it's like to have that ideal in your head, right? You were in entertainment for a very long time. I still have like a half a foot in, but the constant, being in the modeling and acting industry for I'm aging myself now, 25 years. It's like,
You're
if
programmed.
you want this, you can't work.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
it's true.
don't meet this measurement, you are fired from, we will not rep you as an agency anymore. And all these things have happened. These things have happened postpartum. I just had a baby. Why are you, what? I can't,
Yeah.
and And it's not okay. I appreciate social media changing a lot more than it was 15 years ago when I had my first, and 10 years second. Um, I love how you throw it out there on social media.
Thank you.
That you're
Thank
like,
you.
this is the real body. This is
Yeah.
what made babies. What's your advice on, I don't know, not necessarily mothers throwing themselves out there online, but I don't know, teaching themselves and then teaching, their kids, daughters, and sons, really. Let's be honest. We need to teach our boys how to respect a woman's body and what they've been through as well, right? And what
Yeah.
is their ideal versus the world's versus, what is in, their wife, their partner, their parent, their sister, what's in their heart.
Yeah.
I'm a writer. I just want to rewrite the cultural narrative so bad.
Oh, girl, you and me both. You and me both. And I like you, I'm grateful to see that the narrative is starting to shift.
It is,
And
right?
it also depends on what you consume,
Yeah.
because what you consume and what you engage with, it will create more of that in the algorithm. And
Mhm.
so you have to be definitely careful and mindful about your consumption. I'll be honest, I'm the queen of muting people.
Yeah,
And
that's smart.
when you are in the throes of trying to reprogram your body image issues, I think it's really important to protect your energy. And it's
Mhm.
not to say that you don't like people because they look a certain way or but if you have any tinge of jealousy or envy when you're consuming a piece of content, then that is a signal that that is not healthy content for you
Yeah.
right now. It
Yeah.
could be later on. So I'm not saying to go on a huge unfollow spree, but you can mute content. You can mute
Right.
people and prevent yourself from seeing that content. And that way they don't know that you're not seeing it, right? But it'll help protect you from having those negative thoughts. If you're in the thick of trying to reprogram yourself and really help support yourself through body image struggles, and you're in comparison or
Yeah.
looking at other women and feeling inferior, because anytime you have that inferior feeling or a negative feeling, wipe that away from your screen.
It's like,
There's
is
no
this
reason.
uplifting? Is this uplifting? Yes
Yes.
or no?
Do I feel better when I look at this, or do I feel sad
Yeah.
or inferior? Like,
Right.
ask yourself those questions when you're consuming. What emotion is that triggering in you? Because if it's not positivity, it doesn't belong in your screen.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the number one thing that we as women can do when it comes to social media consumption is we could train our algorithms on how to serve content to us. And you
I love
can't do that if you're consuming things that constantly make you feel like shit.
that.
Excuse my language, but
True.
it's the truth. And so
And the algorithm is just going to keep spitting out the same things that you're looking at. But just for our moms out there, where is this mute button that you speak of, just so they can actually follow these
Yeah,
steps?
yeah. It's if you go to people's profiles, I think
Mhm.
it's in the top corner, there's like a
Yeah.
bell where you can look at notifications and you can mute some or mute all. You can mute stories or feed posts or both. You can
Okay, cool.
choose. Yeah. And so it's in the settings, I believe, on
Yeah.
people's profiles, and you
On
can
their
see them
profile,
all.
so it
Mhm.
gives you back that control.
It
You know,
does. It
it does.
does. Yeah, because there have been women like influencers who I used to work with when I was in the beauty industry, who I love, but they are the epitome of that bounce back culture, and they just seemingly snapped right back and looked great. And I found when I was healing from my own little body dysmorphia, body image issues, that that was really triggering for me because
Yeah.
I would look at that and I wouldn't feel happy for them.
Right.
I would feel bad for me.
Right.
And whether or not that's a good thing, when you're healing, you need to give yourself permission to protect your energy and to protect your mindset and your space. And I think that it's okay to just press the mute button so that
Yeah.
you don't see it. It's not like you're unfollowing and making a statement and starting drama.
Yeah.
You're just opting out of saying things that don't make you feel good.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Opt out on, I mean, we're inundated with so much information, right? And just, again, so many images and the amount of thoughts that we think per day, right? The
Oh
thousands,
my
thousands of
God.
thoughts we think
It's
per day.
crazy.
And
It's
so many of them are negative. If we can mute some of those,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
how many thoughts do we have that are negative when scrolling? You know what I mean? Yes, there's some positive in there, but I would say majority are often negative. I think especially for women.
Yeah.
Um, but gaining that healthier mindset, being able to, again, control, just
Yeah.
control, you
Even
know?
the ads, girl. Like the minute I posted that I had a baby, it's like anybody was like, target this person because she just had a baby, because you can do that with ad targeting. And I got so many ads. If you're trying to lose the weight, do this, take this pill, buy this program, blah, blah, blah. And my ads just became inundated with ways to lose weight. And I'm like, I know how to lose weight. Stop. And so I would hide all of those ads. I would just not, I just did not want to see it. Like, I know how to lose weight. And if I need help, I know who to go to. But I don't need to get hit with all of these things that people are doing and recommend, because it's so much pressure.
You don't need these like male trainers that are all jacked up online being like, hey, mama, you want to get your body back? I'm sorry. Those ones.
Oh, the cringe. The cringe.
Those ones get me really bad. I'm like, oh, because you totally know what it's like, right? You totally know.
So you've spoken of this beautiful life that has come about through a lot of work, a lot of change. Your baby is how old now?
He's 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I can't. I'm a little obsessed with babies. Like the last company I owned, like we worked with moms and babies, and I would just be like,
give you the babies.
I know, babies all the time. It's something really special and calming, and you're just a little bit closer to heaven, right? With those, I don't know, something about babies is just like, it's my forever favorite thing. Really sad that mine are not babies anymore.
I know, it grows so fast. My older one is 5 going on 15. And I love every stage, but I know now how fast it goes. So I'm just squeezing and savoring every second, because I'm like, oh my God, I just want to keep you a baby forever. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. But you can, like you said, savor every drop that you can. Speaking of that, a lot of our audience, like working moms, trying to find that balance, living in a country that is like, gives you this much paternity leave. Some moms ready and willing to go back, but then childcare expensive. Some moms not wanting to go back, really trying to find that time. I don't believe balance is a word you should use. I don't think that exists. I think things will always kind of be like this, right? Like if they're not, you're not necessarily growing. And if you're not really growing from the things that when you're down here, you know what I mean? Like we live and learn through all those. What is one of those, I guess, habits that you've had to let go of to become both like present as a mom, but also a powerful leader and the co-CEO of this company? Because I just, I know in running my own business, I don't know, the past, was it almost decade now, is tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky. I feel like I just had to stop believing that being a good mom meant doing everything myself.
Yes.
Presence beats perfection every time. And I had to just let go of things being perfect so that I could be more present. And sometimes things are a little disheveled. Sometimes the dishes pile up in the sink. Sometimes the vacuuming doesn't get done for a couple of days. But did anybody die? No. Like everyone is healthy. Everyone is happy.
Right.
And I'm present. And so I have had to learn to really be where I am, be where my feet are, put away the phone. I have those protected times. And so when I'm at the office, I'm fully focused. Like if I'm going to be away from my family, I'm going to make sure that I am where I am. I'm giving it everything I got. I'm not, I have a daycare app on my kid's phone, and I could, if I wanted to, spend the day like, oh my God, did he nap? How long was his nap? What did he eat for lunch? How much? I could do that. I could go there, and I have done that on occasion, but then I have to step out of it and be like, no, like if I'm going to let somebody else watch him right now, then I need to make sure my time is worth it. So I'm going to be where I am. And then when I go home, I'm going to be there. I'm going to leave all of this behind. I have my sacred hours from the time that I get home and I have my kids to the time that they go to bed. And I do not get on my phone. I am with my kids. I am with my family. Maybe I take my phone out to capture a cute moment, but then it's away. Like it's not something that I'm not scrolling. I'm not getting calls from people. I'm not getting notifications. I'll keep my phone around in case a family member calls me, and then I'll answer it because they know that that's my secret time. So if they're calling me, it's usually an important reason. And then if it's not an important reason, I'm like, hey, I'm with the kids. And they all know, like, oh, call me back when they're in bed. Bye. and they hang up before I can even say bye because it's a known boundary for me,
yeah.
you know? So I think that that's really important, and just being okay with things not all being always pristinely perfect. You know, the laundry can pile up. I did start to get a little overwhelmed with 2, I will say, because it's double the laundry. It's, you know, double the food for school, double the packing, double the dishes. It's a lot more, you know, it's like I went from 1 being a lot to being 2 felt like 20 for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how women do 3, 4, 5. Like, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I can,
The ones that say like, oh, what's 3 once you have 2? What's 4 once you have 3? I'm like, no, with each one comes
my
some
brain
challenges.
I can't compute it. I respect it. And I know if it happened, I'd figure it out, but it will not be happening for me. I'm complete. So I have my boy and my girl, and I am complete for me personally. But I did find that I was starting to get overwhelmed because I do have a demanding career. And I want to be present at home. I didn't want to get home with the kids and then be exhausted. And then I had nothing left for my spouse, because it's like I've got the kids until they go to bed at 8. And now there's all this house chores that we need to do to maintain the household so that it's, you know, in good shape to get, you know, do it all over again the next day. And then there was nothing left for Travis and I. And I was starting to feel like really exhausted, and, you know, spending time with your partner, having energy for them shouldn't be a drainer. You know, it shouldn't be an exhausting, like, oh my God, I have to focus on my husband now. Like, I don't want to be that wife. I don't want to have that energy towards him. And so I did reach out and I did hire some extra help. So we have a house assistant who comes over 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to kind of help me keep up with the laundry, to keep up with the vacuuming and the mopping and the bathrooms and the things, so that when I come home, it's less overwhelming to keep up with the kitchen and, you know, the day-to-day chores. I don't have all the extra things piling up that create so much anxiety for me. I don't know about you, but I have 3 dogs and they're all shepherds. So the shedding.
So much hair. So much hair.
So much. So if you don't vacuum every couple of days, it's like
piles up in the corner.
You do. You get little dust fur bunnies, fur balls
tumbling along. Like,
you know, I have a crawler, so it's like I can't have that, you know.
Right.
So I did reach out, and I did get some support for a few days a week just to help keep up with things, because we can't do it all our own, you know. And I think your leadership actually gets stronger when you realize that you don't have to be the hero, you know? And so I've learned how to delegate. I started to outsource some help. If you have the means to do that, I know that not everybody has those financial means, but if you do, it's a game changer. Even if they can come once a week just to help and have a laundry day. And that way you don't have to worry.
And honestly, once you experience that and you see how much time it saves you and how much energy it saves you, right? Time
literally.
Then you start to make a little more money in your career, or you start to, you know what I mean? Like, it does shift things to where you're like, wow, you kind of get there with your mindset, and then you're like, throw some money at it. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have it right now, but it all comes back because
it does.
Freeing up that time, that stress, that energy that you used to put towards all this. Because we all know managing a household is it's an overtime job. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry in unpaid labor, right? And we know that I've gone on my speeches and I'll have all the rants about that, but it's, you know,
so true.
It's so true. Resources, and we can get help and support. Childcare, can't afford it. Great. Swap with your friend. I'll take 3 hours here. You take 3 hours. I'm already watching my kid. What's one more kid? Yeah, it's one more kid, but also, you know, that you get 3 hours back. You know what I mean? Like, there are tips and tricks and ways to like make things work to where, oh man, it can just free up so much time and energy.
And honestly, I love watching people's kids, because then my kid's entertained.
Yeah.
Like, they can go and play with each other, and then it's all on me, and I get a break, honestly. Like, okay, you guys play in the playroom. That's a safe space. You have everything you need. Let me know what you need. And I can usually have an hour to myself, and it's top tier time.
That's what you just need that small. I mean, we don't need much. We don't need a freaking, excuse me, but like 18-hole golf day.
Okay, thank you.
To like reset and recharge. Like, sometimes we just need that hour, and those 60 minutes are golden. And then you can come back and be a more present mother, wife. Yes. You know what I mean? You can feel like you're taking care of yourself, which is, you know, what we're all about here.
So funny. My husband's a golfer, so I resonate so deeply.
I'm so excited.
I know.
My husband tried to, and I was like, this is not working for me.
Yeah. No, I did have a conversation. I said, I'm gonna need you to start golfing on weekdays. Like pick a day where you leave the office a little early, you work from home, you can kind of create your schedule, create that
Yes.
set for you. Go on a weekday and you can come home by dinner time. But when you go over a weekend, it robs me because the weekend is kind of my time to unwind too, babe.
Yeah. Not possible. Two
Not
kids in house. No.
Yeah.
It's
So
such a long day. Like
it is.
I was like, you can do 9 holes. Isn't that what they do? Like you can do 9 really early in the morning.
Yeah. Set that alarm.
Well, he's not like his thing. So I'm like, it's whatever. It's fine. But we need to also protect those weekends. And I found the busier we get with running our kids around, they all have something, right? I have a swimmer, I have a basketball player, I have a dancer. And I'm like, what is my life now? Even on weekends, people are like, oh, I'm so looking forward to the weekend. I'm like, no, they're not at school all day, right?
Yeah.
No, I love my kids. I love to have them around me, but it's
I mean, when you
constant.
become the carpool and the driver, it is a lot. I haven't quite entered that area yet. I'm getting there though with my
carpool
5-year-old.
Take classes with friends, pawn them off on other people. Like I'm really not, ashamed to do that.
It takes a village. You shouldn't be ashamed. It's necessary for this is survival.
Yeah.
We're just trying to survive.
Yeah. Take and protect parts of those weekends. You know what I mean? Because it can be very much like all kids all the time. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone. Moms, dads, you name it. Hi, Carly here. Thank you so much for listening. We split this episode into 2, so stay tuned for next week's episode where we continue this awesome conversation with Briana and we get into some other completely different topics. So stay tuned, hop on next week, and we'll see you there. Thanks.